In the desert, a tree can be planted every 5 seconds on average, and 1 acre of sandy land can be reclaimed in just 19 minutes. This isn't a scene from a science fiction movie, but a real-life phenomenon in China's deserts. It's understood that China is using a robot called Jumong 301 to manage desertification, achieving an efficiency 80 times that of manual labor. Even more astonishing is that these robots require no human piloting. They automatically detect suitable planting locations and independently complete the entire process, including clearing, planting, and watering. Such reports have shocked and impressed some American scientists, as the U.S. also faces desertification. Some even remarked on social media, the U.S. is still researching robots, while China has already begun using them to manage deserts. So, how exactly is China using robots to transform its deserts? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. As we discussed in previous videos, China has long faced a severe desertification problem. Especially by the end of the 20th century, the area of desertified land in China exceeded 2.6 million square kilometers, accounting for about a quarter of the country's land area. To put that into perspective, China is the third largest country in the world by land area, with a total area of approximately 9.6 million square kilometers. Surveys at the time indicated that nearly 400 million people were directly threatened by desertification. Even more seriously, desertification was expanding at an average rate of 2,460 square kilometers per year, equivalent to losing a large area of farmland or grassland the size of a medium-sized town every year. To address desertification, the Chinese government has invested significant manpower and funds since the 21st century, continuously researching desertification control solutions. According to incomplete statistics, China has mobilized a total of 1.52 million people to participate in desertification control, investing nearly $2 billion. Initially, China primarily employed a human wave approach, relying on large-scale manual tree planting, along with various drought-resistant plants, to stabilize the sand and prevent further wind erosion. This method was indeed effective, but a core problem remained unresolved: its low efficiency. A desertification control team of several dozen people can only manage to control a few dozen acres of land, even if they work continuously for a month. After decades of effort, China has only successfully transformed approximately 10% of its desert areas into oases. China's desert area exceeds 2.6 million square kilometers. Based on past efforts, it would likely take over 100 years to completely turn these deserts into oases. Such a long period is clearly unrealistic, especially considering the continued need for massive investments of funds and manpower. However, the turning point finally arrived in the 21st century. With the rapid development of artificial intelligence, robotics, and drone technology, desertification control has entered a true acceleration phase. In mid-June 2026, coinciding with World Day to Combat Desertification, Chinese media released a stunning announcement. China's desertification control has officially entered the era of intelligent robots. In the Kubuki Desert of Inner Mongolia, the Jumong 301 desertification control robot has begun fully unmanned operations. Equipped with Beidou navigation and visual recognition systems, it can autonomously complete a series of operations such as reclamation, planting, soil covering, and watering without human intervention, achieving an efficiency 80 times that of manual labor. What's even more noteworthy is that the Jumong 301 can carry 1,700 seedlings and 3 tons of water at a time, consumes only 2.1 liters of fuel per acre of sandy land treated, and can operate continuously for 24 hours. It is understood that the Jumong 301 robot can complete the entire process of planting and watering a sapling every 5 seconds on average, and can plant 1 acre of sandy land in just 19 minutes. In addition, China has also developed a sand-absorbing and stabilizing vehicle that can bury straw in the sand layer to a depth of about 25 centimeters, quickly forming a stable straw grid, and can plant 2,000 plants per hour. Another straw grid sand barrier machine can weave a 10-meter-long straw rope in 30 seconds, increasing efficiency by 60% compared to manual labor. At this point, some may ask, can these plants planted by robots really survive in the desert? In fact, these devices are also used in conjunction with biodegradable container planting technology, allowing the seedling survival rate to reach over 80%, an increase of 20% to 30% compared to traditional planting methods. More importantly, China's desertification control has now entered the 2.0 era, with robots gradually becoming the main force. Besides the Jumong 301, technologies such as drone seeding are also providing assistance. Drones can complete aerial seeding of thousands of acres of land every day, while large equipment, such as intelligent sand barrier laying machines and three-dimensional sand-fixing vehicles work in concert. The Beidou navigation satellite system can also ensure that the planting position of each plant is accurate enough. It is the combination of these high-tech methods that has enabled China to contribute about 25% of the world's newly added green area, and related desertification control projects are planned to increase green coverage at a rate of about 2,000 square kilometers per year. Since the Jumong 301 desertification control robot was put into use, local residents have praised its efficiency. They recalled that in the past, the sandy land was soft and constantly shifting sands, making it difficult to dig deep enough planting pits with shovels, preventing saplings from absorbing deep water. Coupled with the extremely high temperatures in the desert region, the survival rate of plants was consistently low, allowing only a few acres to be planted each day. At that time, desertification control relied mainly on manual labor. Workers endured temperatures of 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, manually planting grass and saplings, using the most primitive methods to gradually stabilize the shifting sands, which resulted in an increase in the area of desertification control. Now, mechanized operations are completely changing this situation. Currently, Inner Mongolia has fully launched a new round of desertification control work. It is understood that the local government has prepared 1.54 billion usable seedlings and 8 million kilograms of grass seeds, while also stockpiling 871,000 tons of sand barrier materials. 2,600 kilometers of new and renovated roads traversing the desert have been constructed, driving the treatment of 3 million mu, approximately 200,000 hectares, of desert land. The mechanized desertification control coverage rate has reached 55%. The labor chants that once echoed across the desertification control sites are now gradually being replaced by the roar of machinery. On the undulating sand dunes, sand barrier laying machines are advancing in an orderly manner, pressing grass stalks deep into the sand layer. The crisscrossing grass squares resemble a giant protective net woven on a golden sea of sand. The Chinese government has stated that it plans to complete the construction of over 14 million mu, approximately 933,333 hectares, of the 3 North project by 2026, of which 6 million mu, approximately 400,000 hectares, will be dedicated to sand control. To date, China has achieved a continuous net reduction in desertified land area, shifting from an average annual expansion of 5.15 million mu, approximately 300,000 hectares, at the end of the last century to an average annual reduction of 10 million mu, approximately 667,000 hectares, significantly reversing the trend of desertification expansion. Simultaneously, the total soil erosion volume of China's 8 major deserts and 4 major sandy lands has decreased by approximately 40% compared to 2000. The average vegetation coverage in sandy areas has reached 21.17%, an increase of 2.84 percentage points compared to 10 years ago. The forest and grassland coverage rate in the 3 North project area has reached 40.76%, and 67.82% of manageable desertified land has been effectively treated. According to the latest data, China's forest area has reached 3.614 billion mu, approximately 242,667 hectares, with a forest coverage rate of 25.09% and a forest stock volume of 20.988 billion cubic meters, making it the country with the largest and fastest growth in forest resources globally. Undoubtedly, these data fully demonstrate that China's ecological environment is undergoing significant changes. However, what is even more noteworthy is that China has taken the lead in developing and deploying desertification control robots, and it is highly likely that this technology will be promoted overseas in the future. It's important to understand that approximately 2 billion people worldwide live in arid regions directly threatened by desertification, with over 12 million hectares of arable land lost annually due to land degradation. Whether it's the Sahel region south of the Sahara in Africa, the basin affected by the shrinking Aral Sea in Central Asia, or some arid countries in the Middle East, there's long been a lack of low-cost, high-efficiency, large-scale desertification control methods. Continuing to rely on afforestation and sand barriers will inevitably confront the dual challenges of extreme environments and labor shortages, making it difficult to keep pace with the rate of desert expansion. Over the past few decades, even American engineers have devoted considerable effort to combating desertification. From planting drought-resistant vegetation and constructing sand barriers to introducing advanced drip irrigation technology and drought-resistant crops, various methods have been tried. However, these traditional methods have repeatedly failed in the face of extreme climates. In this context, if countries plagued by desertification introduce the Jumong 301 desertification control robot, desertification control projects can hopefully shift from the traditional model, relying on manpower and basic machinery, to more efficient and intelligent operations. After decades of practice, China has developed a complete desertification control system centered on straw checkerboard sand barriers and afforestation. The Kobuki Desert Management Model has been listed by the United Nations Environment Program as a global desert eco-economic demonstration zone, and related technologies and experiences have been included in the knowledge-sharing database of the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. Now, based on this mature model, the addition of robots and intelligent equipment can further develop an industrialized, replicable, and lower-cost desertification control solution, providing a new option for global desertification control. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.